Kia ora, Year 11, and welcome to this short video tutorial. So our goal up on screen here is one of the final pieces to our ethical issues puzzle, is to look at if we apply the teachings of Catholic social teaching principles to an issue such as artificial intelligence, euthanasia, or abortion, what would be some of the implications of that? And put simply, what I mean is that if we applied some of the principles that we've looked at to a particular issue, how would it change individuals' perspectives and experiences? And how would it change, for instance, New Zealand and our society's view and opinion around a particular issue? So when we're looking at wider implications, we've got to have case studies and evidence to support our ideas, because wider implications is quite in depth in terms of the level of thinking and understanding we need to demonstrate. So wider implications is about looking at everything that we've covered and learned so far and coming up with original conclusions and ideas on how the principles can be applied. So up on screen here, I've got an example from a learner from last year, and this is a small snapshot. It wasn't their whole response, but what they've said is that they are applying the principle of life and dignity of the human person to the issue of euthanasia. And what they're saying is that a personal implication of applying life and dignity of the human person to euthanasia is that the individual wouldn't have their life ended early or prematurely through a medical intervention. They're saying here at the end that due to life and dignity of the human person, because God is the creator, that the creator will ultimately determine when that life would end, and that by allowing them to pass naturally, we're actually respecting the value of their life, and we're also respecting their dignity. So that's the first implication. And the second implication they're presenting to us is a social one. So they're talking about society here, and they're saying that if we applied life and dignity to the human person, our society would value human life more than we currently do now, because they argue that rather than seeing human life and suffering and going through something as a negative experience, it's actually an opportunity to show compassion and love to that individual. So it's actually more about supporting them through a transition into the afterlife, rather than seeing it as a negative and helping them end their life early. Looking at this example though, for a personal implication, they could have actually incorporated a case study such as the one of Lucretia Seales, which is a New Zealand case study, or an international case study looking at an individual's journey around the issue of euthanasia. And particularly in the societal one, they could have also linked it, and they needed to, the current law change that's going through New Zealand in Aotearoa around legalising euthanasia through the Member of Parliament, David Seymour. So remember, continue to go back and look at this particular video, because this will really help you as you start to form these conclusions about how can applying these principles to an issue actually have personal, social, and even political implications.